to the Labour leadership contest now. Today is the deadline for unions and key supporters to say who they're backing. We're joined now by Jeremy Corbyn's challenger, Owen Smith. Good morning to you. How important is union backing to the potential winner of this leadership contest?
Oh, I think enormously important. The trade unions gave birth to the Labour Party, so having union support is incredibly important. I'm very proud that I've had the backing of the shop workers and the steel workers and the GMB, of course, last week, one of Britain's biggest trade union, and the entertainment union. So I'm very pleased that I got 4 really big unions backing me.
Yeah, cool. Jeremy Corbyn's got about 8 unions, though, backing him, hasn't he?
I think, well, I'm not sure it's quite that many, I think, but, you know, look, Jeremy's got quite a lot of backing. Well, I think the key thing is one of the big unions is backing me is GMB. They balloted all their members. 26,000 of them voted for me. That's a real vote of confidence in me, and I'm just delighted with the support I've got.
What about this decision to exclude some 130,000 new members from being involved in this? I imagine you're quite pleased with that decision.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm pleased, because I want this to be as big and as open a contest as it possibly can be. But obviously it's not been for me to make those decisions. It's been the NEC, the ruling body of the Labour Party, and unfortunately the courts that have been involved in making that decision. I've just got to play by the rules, whatever they are.
But does it seem fair, though?
Well, I think it's fair that a political party sets its own rules. We've always had these things called free states. Quite often, if you're a member of a club, a snooker club or a golf club, you don't get voting rights until you've been a member for a period, and that's the same rules the Labour Party applies, and that's the rules that the courts have upheld.
Do you agree with Tom Watson, who is obviously the elected deputy of the party, who seems to disagree with Jeremy Corbyn, that there are a lot of what he calls Trotskyites, you know, sort of extreme left-thinking people who are trying to get into the party? Do you agree with that?
Well, I've not encountered it, to be honest. I've been round the country. I was in Plymouth yesterday, talking to a lot of people who voted Jeremy last time, who are now voting for me, who've, I think, during this...
So you agree with Jeremy on this, then, that he doesn't think Tom Watson's got it right either, so you disagree with your deputy as well, do you?
I think most people have joined the Labour Party for really good reasons, the same reasons I joined. They want to make their community, they want to make Britain a fairer place, and I think that's what I've encountered across the country.
What's the
Maybe
future?
Some people have joined because they aren't supporting the Labour Party. Last time round, if you remember, a Tory tried to get his dog to sign up to vote in the contest. So there'll be a couple of people, I'm sure, but most people have done it with good heart.
What's the future, do you think, for the Labour Party, though? I mean, you've talked yourself about how it's in crisis at the moment.
I think it is in crisis. That's why I'm standing. I mean, I think we are at the moment.
Isn't you standing causing part of the crisis? I mean, it's
no.
You are a symbol of the split in the party, aren't you? And if you were to just step down and back Jeremy Corbyn, you would be a united party.
No, I'm a symbol of what we need to do to change, which is, I think, move on to a new generation of Labour men and women. I don't think we've been a powerful opposition recently. I don't think we've held the Tories to account. You'll have seen today I'm highlighting the fact that they've got secret plans, the Tories, to privatise the NHS. We've discovered the fact they've almost doubled the volume of private sector provision in the NHS, and now they've got a new business plan that says they want a new work programme using the private sector in order to undermine the NHS, and we should have been highlighting that at the centre.
And you'd know about that, wouldn't you? Because you used to work for Pfizer, a pharmaceutical company, looking at government policy. So I guess, in a way, you've poacher turned gamekeeper. In a way, you're sort of now saying, actually, Bose, before you were asking for government involvement in private companies, now you've changed your tune.
No, that's not true either. The simple fact is, of course, Pfizer sells medicines to the NHS, not services, and I'm talking about clinical services being provided.
But when we're hearing that cataract operations are being delayed, there are clinical trusts are saying, look, we can't provide cancer drugs. These things can be provided privately, you know, and operations waiting times can be cut down. Is there room for the private sector at all in the NHS?
No,
or not?
I think we should be reducing the amount of private sector involvement in the NHS. I think
and increasing waiting lists.
No, I think we should be having a properly funded NHS. I'd be funding the NHS by an extra 4% per year.
Where'd you get that money from, then?
I'd raise that money through issuing long-term gilts and raising an extra £13.5 billion per annum in taxes on the wealthiest people and on companies in this country.
So taxes would go up?
Absolutely. So taxes on big companies in this country, they'd go up under my watch. We wouldn't be down at 17%. It's half the rate of America. I'd be increasing them. Taxes on the super wealthy, people earning over £150,000 on unearned income from dividends, etc. That would be increasing.
The wealth creators could go out of the country.
I don't think they would. I don't think there's any evidence of that happening. Crucially, I don't think there's any evidence of reducing the rates, as the Tories have done, down to 17%, has increased the volume of business coming to this country. And most important, we need a properly funded NHS. We need a publicly funded NHS, free at the point of use. And in order to have that, we've got to make sure that companies that are earning profits in this country and benefit from there being a free health service that keeps their workers fit and able, paying their fair share.
17 million people have voted for leave.
Yeah.
Based, I don't know how many people voted on the basis of that advert, but that was a huge part of the propaganda. You're now saying that's a mistake.
We have a £10 billion a year, a £34 million a day featherbed that is going to be free money that we can spend on the NHS,